These notes are about solving inequalities with variables on both sides. Again, it's the exact same steps as solving equations with variables on both sides, with just those few little differences that we see when we have inequalities instead of with equations. There's a quick review of the vocabulary. Y'all have been seeing this since January. I don't think I need to go over them anymore. Y'all are pretty good about it. Please pause the video, make sure that you've got all these written down or typed in on Desmos, and then go ahead and let's go to the next slide. To review again, those little differences that we see when we have inequalities that we don't have when we have equations. So, reminder, when we have inequalities, we have multiple answers. We see that range shown on the number line. After we solve these problems, we do our open or our closed circle and then shade to the left or to the right, depending on what those numbers are for the answer. What signs do we use open circles for? Greater than and less than. If it does not include that number, it does not filled in. Like we talked about in class, we use closed circles when we have to be a little bit extra with our symbols. If we have that equal to line, it's a closed circle because it includes that number in the answer. Open circles, that's just the starting point. It doesn't include that number. Closed circles, that's the starting point, and it includes the answer. When do we flip our sign? Whenever we multiply or divide by a negative. So that means if my inequality sign was greater than, if I multiply by a negative, it's going to flip and it's going to go that way. If it was this way, I divide by a negative, it's going to flip that way. Only with multiplication and division, it does not happen with addition or subtraction. It does not happen with addition or subtraction, just multiplying and dividing. Again, with these steps, we're going to have to first simplify each side. When we simplify each side, we have to do the distributive property first. There might not be the distributive property, and that's okay. But if you see the distributive property, if you see those parentheses and you need to do that multiplication with that number on the outside times everything inside the parentheses, that's going to go first. You need to multiply because it's parentheses. Multiply the number on the outside to all numbers inside the parentheses. Multiply that number on the outside times everything inside those parentheses. Then, if you can, combine like terms. Combine like terms. Remember, with like terms, if we see like 5x plus 2x, that's okay. Those are like terms. They both have x's. If I just see like 3x minus 4, those are not like terms. I cannot combine them. But 5x plus 2x, that's okay. That's going to be 7x. 3x plus or minus 4, we cannot do that. That's not the letter x. That's a no sign. We can't combine those because 4 doesn't have an x with it. After you've combined like terms on each side, then we combine our variables over the equal sign. Combine your variables and your constants over the equal sign. Then go through SAD and MEG, those inverse operations to solve. Remember, inverse means opposite. Looking at your test from equations with variables on both sides, a lot of people recognized, I need to get rid of this number first. But like if I was adding in the problem, they had accidentally added on both sides instead of doing the opposite, which would be to subtract. Go ahead, pause that, rewind it. Oh my gosh. Oh wait, okay, I was recording. I thought I wasn't even recording. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to do all this over again. But I did. Pause this if you need to. Go back, watch it again, or otherwise we're gonna get into some example problems. So happy I wasn't just talking for nothing.